Hi guys, I'm Lyssa and I'm back with another video. Today is time for another weekly wrap-up kind of thing where I'm talking about the books that I've been reading over the past week and what I'm currently reading and planning on reading over the next coming week. The first thing that I finished over the past week was Night Pleasures by Sherrilyn Kenyon. I just managed to finish this by the end of August and I was really happy about that. It is a book that I've been buddy reading with Shannon from Shannon Riddler, and it's been so much fun buddy reading it. There's been a lot of things going on, so it's been nice being able to discuss the different theories, the different things that happened in this book. We are following, in this book, it's the first in the actual Dark Hunter series. In July we read like a prequel thing. It's part of a Dark Hunter Legends series, so it is set before the start of the Dark Hunter series, and I think it's very important that you read that one before, especially considering who is in it, and yeah, it's a good setup for the whole universe. But this one is the actual first one where we're actually following a Dark Hunter book, a Dark Hunter character. So yeah, we follow two perspectives. The first perspective we're following is Amanda. Amanda is a woman who is she is human, but she comes from a family of witches. Her sisters all dabble into the witchcraft world, and she has decided she doesn't want anything to do with that. She just wants to be normal. She just wants to have a normal life, not having to think about the magical aspects of her life. And then we have Kenyon, who is the Dark Hunter in the series, who is a Dark Hunter. Dark Hunters are vampire essentially, but they are hunters in the night. They hunt the things that go bump in the night, and they help out humans, and they don't have yeah, they have sort of taken an oath to be a Dark Hunter when they were dying. Yeah, it's a bit complicated to explain it completely, but what happens is our main character, Amanda, one day has to go and let a dog out who is her sister's dog when her sister is out on a date. She doesn't really want to, but she reluctantly goes because she also thinks it's not fair to the dog that it's being kept inside. But when she gets there, she is basically attacked, and when she wakes up again, she's handcuffed together with a Dark Hunter, Kenyon, and that's basically where it starts off. And yeah, as time progresses, you find out a lot about Kenyon's background as well as Amanda's background. I think the amount of world building that's in this is really amazing. It definitely changes compared to the previous book. Not that I said there was anything wrong with Fantasy Lover. There's nothing wrong with Fantasy Lover per se, the previous book that we read. It was a lot of fun following Julian and what was her name again? Celine? Anyway, but that one didn't have a lot of world building. It didn't have a lot of things about the different characters that were in this. It was mostly just focused on Julian and his background as being a warrior from the Greek mythology, so a Spartan warrior. And then with Kenyon we have the Dark Hunter universe, where we are introduced to all of these different beings, dream hunters and dark hunters and hunter shifters, I think, or what were we called. And then there were also squires, because Kenyon has a squire attached to him that's called Nick, and I have a feeling that it must be Nick from the series Chronicles of Saint Nick, and that was super fun. I really enjoyed the sort of different things, connections that were added to this, and I really enjoyed the characters that were introduced, and I'm very eager to figure out what's going to happen next. Amanda and Kenyon were both really great characters. There are a couple of things where I was like, had it been written now, it would probably been handled differently. It is a book that's from around the 2000s-ish, so about 20 years ago it was published, and that definitely made for some interesting choices that the author took in order to write this, but on the other hand, I just really enjoyed it. And though it did have some really long chapters at times, I was really hooked to the story and really wanted to know what was going on. And because of all of the things that was going on, it was really nice to have Shannon to talk to about it. So yeah, I don't know, I think I'm just giving it a 4 out of 5 stars as well. I just really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to finding out more about this world, about these characters, and see who we're going to be following the next book. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. The next book that I finished over the past week was the Bromance book club, which is by Lyssa K. Adams? No, Lyssa, is that the name? I've just currently forgotten it. This was a second chance romance kind of thing. It follows this couple who is on the brink of a divorce. They've more or less been separated. He wants to do everything he can in order to save their marriage, and so he basically ends up starting up a book club with his guy friends, and they start reading these romance novels in order to try and figure out how to woo a girl, and how to sort of being able to sweep her off her feet again and sort of re-spark their marriage kind of thing, and save their marriage. And I thought the whole concept was really interesting. I don't think I loved it from the beginning, but I ended up really enjoying it. I had to get used to our main female character, while I understood where she was coming from with some of the gripes she had with her husband. There are definitely places where I think that she wasn't really fair to him, but I like that it was sort of realistic conflicts that they had with each other as well. And I really ended up enjoying where it basically ended up. So I was very happy I ended up reading it, and it's definitely been one of those very hyped romances over the past couple of years on BookTube, I believe, and I've been really looking forward to reading it, and I finally did, and I'm very happy I did that. And I think I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars as well. The last thing that I finished over the past week is I finally finished Rise of Empire by Michael J. Sullivan. This is the second bind up in the Rare Revelation series. This is book 3 and 4 in the Rare Revelations, and I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of things going on, and it's difficult talking about this book without spoiling too much about what happened previously, but we're basically following Royce and Hadrian, who are these sort of not necessarily good guys, but still they're really good friends, and they help each other out. And then we're following Amanda, who is this princess, no, not Amanda, sorry, Amelia, who definitely has a really big part over this book as well, or both of the books. And there are definitely a lot of things that happen towards the end. I'm very looking forward to what's going to happen in the next coming book. It was a little bit difficult starting up with this book again after having spent so much time away from this world, but I'm happy I picked it up again, and hopefully there won't be as long a wait before I start on the last and final book in this trilogy. I think I'm ended up giving this one 4 out of 5 stars as well. So overall really great reading week for me in terms of quality as well. So let's talk a little bit about what I'm currently working on, because I'm working on 3 different audiobooks and a physical book. So yeah, first up I started on Witnessing Death by J.D. Robb. This is the 10th book in the In Death series, and I'm listening to this in my car because it's an audio CD, and I haven't listened to a CD in ages. I haven't listened to an audio in normal speed since I think 2016 or something like that. So it's definitely been a little bit very much getting used to, and I sort of really pay attention to how slow she's speaking. But besides that, I am really super enjoying the audio. I think it's just so much fun being back with these characters. First up, we are following this mystery. Eve and Rourke has gone to the theater to watch this play, and she's really into it. It's sort of murder mystery, and Eve is trying to guess along on what's happened what's happening, but what ends up happening is actually that there's an actual murder taking place on stage because someone replaced the stage knife with an actual real knife, and the main character, when she is stabbing the other main character in this, ends up killing off this man, and it sets off this whole book. But what I'm so happy being back with this world, because all of the characters, they're just so much fun. I love Eve and Rourke's personal relationship, their marriage. It's always fun to read about or listen to, but I'm also just so happy to see the friendship between Eve Dallas and her friend Mavis, as well as Eve and Nadine, as well as Eve and Peabody, Peabody is her assistant at work, like a police detective kind of thing as well. And their sort of work relationship, they have come to bond over the last couple of years, as well as Peabody's relationship with McNabb. It's so much fun. Like, there's so many different ties that I'm absolutely enjoying, and I'm so happy being back in this world, and I can't believe it took so long between book 9 and 10 in order to continue with this, because it's so much fun being back with them. So yeah, definitely enjoying that, even though it's going really slow. And I think I'm about 4 hours into it out of 11. Yeah, I think that's around where I am, so I'm definitely in good time to finish this. Maybe I'll already finish it by next weekend, we'll see. The other book that I'm also listening to right now is 4 Past Midnight by Stephen King. This is a really big book. I didn't realize it was so big when I put it on my TBR, but it's another one of those that's 30 hours long in the audio, and the actual physical book is 930 pages, the mass market paperback kind of thing. And it's a collection of 4 novellas or novels. I don't know how long they are, because they're 4 books and it's 900 pages. I don't have a lot to say about that one yet. I'm about an hour and a half into it, and I don't really have I don't have an opinion about it right now, so I'll let you know more about it later when I'm more into it, probably next week. I don't think I'll finish it by then, but we'll see. It could be that I will finish it over next week. We'll have to see. The last and final audio that I'm currently working on is one I just started after finishing Rise of Empire today, and that is Natskygge on Night Shadow by Gry Campbell Jensen. This is the last and final book in the Rosenholm trilogy, which I have been reading one of these books every year since they started coming out. I'm really enjoying this series, and it's following these girls on this boarding school where they are taught about magical things. They have different abilities, and they are playing a lot about the psychic mental stuff. And the last book in the series, the second book in the series, definitely ended on a really big cliffhanger, and it's just started really exciting again. I'm looking forward to seeing how this is all gonna turn out. It's much longer than the other books in the series. The first book is about, I have a copy of the first one, but as you can tell, both of those books have been around half the length of that. But at some point I'm gonna get the 2 other books in this edition as well, because they're so beautiful. So at one point when there's a sale, I'll probably get the rest. But I bought it from the library, and I don't know where I am because I haven't found the spot yet. I think I am about 50 pages into it, but I'm not sure. And it's almost 600 pages, so it's definitely a lot longer than the other books in this series. But it's nice to know that I have take the time to wrap up this series. So it's probably because there's many things that's gonna happen in this one, and I hope that it will end up with a bang. I'm not really sure what point this cut me off, but the book I'm currently working on the book that I'm currently working on as well. The physical book that I'm currently working on is another Danish book called Dronningens Erindringer, or The Queen's Memories. And this is by Line Wenzel, and it's the first book in a series called Memoryland, or Minnelandet. This follows this girl called Tella, who is a princess. She, her mother, or royalties in this world, is able to do magic, But the way that it works is that every time they have to do a magical spell of some kind, they have to sacrifice a memory, and the bigger the spell, the bigger the stronger the memory, or the more important the memory has to be in order for you to do that. So it definitely comes with a cost every time she has to do some magical stuff. And when the queen is threatened about something that they know, and she's not sure what it is because she might have forgotten about it because of her using memories in order to do spells, our main character Tella has been asked to go to this place called Miniland, which is Memory Land, which is where all of the memories will be stored once you use a magical spell, and you will be able to recollect the memory, I guess, that way. Or at least that's what I assume. At this point I am 78 pages into it. I've read the first 5 chapters. It is relatively short. I think it's about 300 pages, just under 300 pages. So I'm hoping I can finish it definitely over the next coming week. So yeah, those are all of the currently reading books I'm currently working on, and I'm very happy with my selection of books at the moment. Yeah, so definitely my plans for the next week is that I will be trying to finish up or make as much progress on those books that I've been talking about today, that I'm currently working on. I don't think that I will end up starting anything new unless I finish. If I finish this one, I'll probably start on Ruin by John Gwynne, just I know it's the biggest book on my TBR, but it's also because of that I need to get started. Maybe I'll take another short book before I get into that one. I'm not really sure about that yet. We'll have to see. So yeah, this is everything I had for you today. Let me know in the comments down below what you've been reading over the past week. Have you read any of the books that I've been talking about today? And if you did, what was your thoughts about? Yeah, and if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Goodbye.